ahead and just really lightly trace the heart on my canvas. That way we don't have to, I don't end up with some wonky heart. I don't end up with a wonky heart with glass on it. So, because I don't do well under pressure. So I'm just gonna really lightly take my stylus that has resin on it and hang on. I just do not have my act together today. I'm going to take my stylus and lightly trace over it. Now this heart, I literally printed off of Pinterest. I went to Pinterest and did a search for free heart template. Whoops. Free heart template and just printed it right off of Pinterest onto my printer. So let's see if we got it. Voila, perfection. You didn't see the explosion? Patty, I'm not 100% sure how that works. Honestly, I don't know how you get them to give away. Maybe somebody here can answer that because I 100% do not know. Is that not crazy? Is that not nutso? Okay, so let me wiggle that down a little. Get you off my lap. And we're gonna get started. I think I'm going to grab just a nice, hey Paula, first timer. How are you? So I'm freezing up again. Thank you, Linda. It shows stars on the bottom of the phone and you buy them. And Kimberly, correct me if I'm wrong, are they like 1 cent a piece? Yes, Pam, the stylus is awesome. The stylus is awesome. So let me grab a blue. I think this blue might really work well. No, that's probably too, sorry, I was ill-prepared. I'm gonna use this one and add a little white to it so it doesn't go crazy. So let me grab my plate. And I just want to put a little color underneath so I can hide my tracer lines. Does that make sense? Okay. So let me grab a brush. That one's kind of dirty. So really the only reason for doing this is to hide my tracer lines and to give it a little color underneath. So I'm going to start with just some white on one side. And I know you can't see that because, you know, it's white on white. But then I'm going to go into this blue, which is turquoise blue. Hey, Becky, are you from Hernando? Are you in Hernando? I am in Hernando right this minute. So I'm going to go right around my edge, cover up that tracer line. Whew. Yes, as long as nobody breaks in. That's funny, Maureen. No, you know what? I still have not, I had to go buy a pack of stylus because I still have not located that one that went MIA. I made a joke about how somebody broke in and stole it. I literally have no idea where it went. It is in this studio somewhere for sure, unless somebody did break in and all they took was my stylus. That's funny. So I'm just hitting right on that tracer line. And I'm going to come up and the other side. And then I'm going to calm it down a little. I enjoyed that blue heart that we did yesterday so much that I thought we're going to do another one. Blue hearts are fun. So if you're doing this too, don't worry too much about it being perfect because you're going to put glass on top of this. We're going to add glass to this, so don't worry about it being perfectly straight. Ooh, there we go. So I definitely want it to be darker on one side and lighter on the other. So let me straighten it up a little. And then I think I'm gonna rinse my brush and we'll lighten it up. Thank you for the stars. Y'all are awesome. Gretchen and Rebecca and Phyllis. So, hang on. Did you get one at Dollar Tree? Awesome. Yeah, those things are a lifesaver. I did put, Pat, I put one coat of Anita's white on the background just to clean it up because it did have some, you know, little boo-boos and such on. I see one right there too. Must have missed. Did have some little boo-boos on the background, so I put a fresh coat of white all over. And now I'm using white and turquoise blue to fill this heart in. And I want to lighten this side a little bit. So I'm going to try to let that dry a little. My blow dryery thing, my heat gun is unplugged. So I'm just gonna try to lighten that as we go. This is going to be a quickie too because we're not doing anything extravagant. So it'll be okay if it takes a minute to dry, won't it? Thank you, Cheryl. Okay, so while we just sit here, I'm actually gonna plug in my heat gun. I think I am, because we'll use it for our resin too. So let's dry this real quick, and I'm going to use my little heat gun to do that. Donna, have you checked my website? I sell glass by the pound at artshattered.com. Yes, they could. We could do hearts in every color. But you know, y'all know me, I'm a blueaholic. So there's that. So yeah, if you're new here, I do sell glass on my website. I sell it by the pound. I have 26 colors. So I would love for you to buy from me, but if you want to buy from somebody else, that's okay too. All right. Deb, I've not resined over a photograph myself, but if you go to artresin.com, which is the place where I get my resin. If you go to artresin.com, I think there's a video tutorial on their website about how to do exactly that. So I'm going to lighten this up a little because we're using clear glass on this side, and I really want it to pop through. Get a little bit of water. Yeah, I knew somebody would tell you what to do because these girls on here have done it all. They've done it all. All right, so I'm going to ombre that out a little, kind of fade it out so it's not weird. I micromanaged in this little heart a little too much. All right, I'm going to get a little bit of water on my brush so I can blend it in to that white. There we go. Just use your finger. When all else fails. Hey, girls. And all else fails. There we go. All right, so I'm going to hit that again with our blow dryer. And then we're going to get started on glass. So literally this is 2 colors. The whole background I did with Anita's white. And then I did the heart with the turquoise blue and the Anita's white kind of blended together. So let's get this dry. Oh, you know what? That would be super cool. You know what I was thinking about doing too? You know how if you get a heart, if they put you on one of those heart thingies, I'm not medical, I'm an artist, so I don't know what it is, but it's like your heartbeat where it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. I was literally thinking about doing a heart that had that heartbeat up and down. I don't know what it's called. I know somebody out there knows. Literally want to do one like that has, thank you, Elaine, that has the up and down motion of the heartbeat in it. So that might come next. That actually might come next. So that might come next. That actually might come next. So let's see, Christine, my private group, yes, EKG, thank you, Claire. See, I'm just crazy. Thank you, Charlotte. Everybody, I knew everybody would know. I'm just a little cray-cray sometimes. So our private group is called the Shattered Circle. Somebody asked just now. And we are opening again in March. We're going to do a challenge before. Oh, that would be awesome, Peggy. We're going to do a little challenge, a spring challenge before we open. So watch for that. And if you go to artshattered.com and click on the Shattered Circle tab at the top, it's going to tell you everything you need to know about the Shattered Circle. You can also go to theshatteredcircle.com and read all about it too. There we offer private workshops and all kinds of goodies there, but if you'll go check that out, and if you have any questions after you visit there, I'm trying to find glue that actually has glue in it. You can email me and I will answer any questions that you have. Oh, Gloria, I'm so sorry you're in pain. I am, thank you, Pat. I'm going to use some clear tacky glue and I'm just going to lightly go around the outside edge. Thank you, Judy. Look at y'all rock stars. Y'all are rock stars. I'm going to go around the outside edge on my blue part, not on the white, and just make like a little bridge, a dam, if you will, to keep my glass kind of held in shade or inside the heart. This is not 100% necessary, but I find that if I'm doing a shape like this, it does kind of help me stay in place. Kind of grabs, the glue grabs onto that glass and helps me stay where I'm supposed to be. So what's wrong, Gloria? Let's see. Thank you, Kim, for the stars. So now the glass that we're using. So I'm using 4 colors. I'm going to use the dark blue first, which is cobalt. Then I'm going to use the next shade down, which is Pacific blue. Yes, stay in the lines. Then I'm going to use this beautiful Caribbean blue. Oh, Gloria. Oh, you know, I had a hip replacement last year, and that is one thing that terrifies me. I'm so paranoid about falling. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I hope you feel better soon, babe girl. I'm going to just pour. It looks like a heart-shaped cloud. It kind of does, don't it? I'm going to pour some of this into my hand, and I am just going to start adding a little bit of that on the left side. So I need to keep in mind that I'm using 4 colors and to save room for all the colors and not go crazy. So I think I'm going to fill up the top of this. Oh, there's a little fun little piece. I'm going to fill up the top, keep it kind of close to the edge. Keep my hands out of the glue. And then I'll add my next color, and then the next and the next. So let's see if we can do this without making a hot mesh. Okay, this will look nice right down here at the point. So we'll get down to here. That one's too big. So I'm just gonna kind of push it in. And I'm not laying out one little teeny layer of glass. I am kind of piling it up because I do want it to be dimensional. So you do you. If you like laying out little bits of glass at a time, then you do you. We fully support doing your own thing. So I'm just gonna lay that in. Then I'm gonna go to my next color, I think. I may need one or two more nuggets. One or two little nugs. And I can add more if I need to, so. All right, so that was cobalt, okay? Yeah, I did mine at 58 too. Actually, it was a couple months before my 58th birthday. So next is Pacific Blue. It's just a little bit of a lighter shade of blue. So we're gonna start adding in some of that. I'll throw that down at the bottom. Just a smidge lighter. I'm gonna get a little more cobalt to blend in. A little more Pacific. And we're just gonna keep going with the next color. I'm so eager to see how this turns out. Little eager girl. A little bit more. Hey, Carrie. All right, I'm gonna add this little piece right here. It's got a nice curve to it. So I'm gonna put him right there. Girl, my hip hurts just thinking about that. Okay, so next is the Caribbean Blue. So we're gonna add some of that. Oh my gosh, Leisha. So I'm just gonna drop that on there, and then we'll get a little bit more. We'll just add a little bit at a time. I am going to be in Dallas in July at Tamara's event. I will be teaching a workshop. So I would love for some of you guys to come and hang out, visit with me, come play. We're gonna make something super fun for the fall. I know it's July, but we have to start thinking about fall in July when you are a seller, when you sell stuff for a living. So I'm just gonna keep on going. Add a little bit more at the top. Oh, look at that piece. Is that not perfect for that heart curve right there? Boom. And then we're gonna end with the clear. I'm excited too. Pam's coming virtually. Yeah, they do have that option, which is super cool for people who can't travel or prefer not to in this crazy day and age. All right, so now I'm gonna add a little bit of clear, and this is our clear glass. The clear actually has a tiny hint of a blue. It's pretty cool, isn't it? I'm just gonna put it in my hand, and there's a really cool piece for that curve, and another cool piece for a curve. Then I'm just gonna dump it. So you see why I didn't want this side of my heart to be that dark blue color, because this clear would have reflected that blue through my glass. So I really wanted it to have a really nice ombre look. I know, me too. When you just get that perfect little piece, it brings great joy. So I want to get them right up to my edge. So do y'all think we should do the heartbeat piece? Maybe we'll do it Friday or Saturday. This is super cool, super simple, no talent required for this piece. You just have to be able to trace a heart. And you could leave it white if you wanted to, just kind of trace out. I want to get some little baby pieces, not big ones, little babies, and just kind of smatter them like in the middle of the Caribbean. So it's more, so it's not kind of a hard line, just a little softening right there. All right, let's stick that little baby right there. And I think we are done, guys. This looks super cool. All right, now it is time to resin. Now this is a good bit of glass. Thank you, Cloma, for the stars. So let me get this glass out of my way. So 4 colors: cobalt, Pacific blue, Caribbean, and clear for this piece. And I am going to mix some resin. And again, this is an 8x8 for anybody who's just showing up. So I am going to mix, let's see, I do have another piece to resin, very small piece. So I think I'm gonna mix 3 ounces. And if that's too much, I'll have a little left over for my last little piece that is behind me. So let me grab a cup that is appropriate. So this cup is from thepaintstore.com, and they have like the little measurements on the side so you can measure. Yes, Kim, you can order glass from me, artshattered.com. Artshattered.com. Click on glass and supplies, and we have 20 something, I think 26 or 28, I never can remember. We have 26 or 28 colors. Okay, so I use art resin. Oh, let me put my gloves on, y'all. These crazy big old gloves. Yeah, I was thinking about doing a heartbeat. Oh, look, this pair's not so big. What's up with that? Huh. The template, Maria, is only available to people who are in the Shattered Circle. That's like a perk of being in the membership. We only provide templates for our members. But you could probably go on Pinterest and find a cute little gnome and just add a little balloon to it. You could get creative. I got a little bit of something. A little debris. Let's make sure we get that. Okay, so I'm gonna mix 3 ounces. Thank you, Catherine. I'm gonna mix 3 ounces, which means I'm gonna mix 1.5 ounces of hardener and 1.5 ounces of resin. I use art resin. Let's turn it this way. I use art resin. I would love to see your koi, Maureen. And art resin is a 2-part epoxy, okay? So I'm gonna mix, let's see, I have to be quiet so I do it right. I'm gonna mix 1.5 ounces of hardener, perfect. And then I'm gonna top it off. Now, let me just tell you this. I'm using 1 cup to pour my resin and my hardener. If you're new, you probably should mix in 2 cups. Not probably, you should. You should put your hardener in 1 cup and your resin in the other. and mix that way so that you have a proper measurement. You cannot measure this by weight. It is only by, because the hardener weighs more than the resin. So if you mix by weight, you're going to have a mess. It is by volume. Okay, I think that's it. All right, so let me grab my little stick. Oh, that's funny, Amy. That's funny. Okay, so while I'm sitting here looking, I'm looking in the camera at my art piece, and I'm not digging the way that there's like almost a hard line between these two colors. So I'm gonna grab just a little bit more of this Caribbean blue. I can't dilly-dally, I got resin in my cup, but I wanna add a few more little nuggets to kind of soften that line between those two colors. So that's better. It was bugging me. It was bugging me. Let me put my glove back on, and we are gonna mix now. Okay, so this is a little silicone applicator that you can get in dollar stores, or I buy them in bulk online. So we're gonna mix for 3 minutes. Now while I mix, Catherine, I'm ready to go. While I mix, I wanna talk to you about mixing resin, okay? Because it's winter, let me tell you about cold resin. Cold resin will create a ton of bubbles, okay? I don't know what the deal is, but it does. Also, if you whip your resin, like just beat it like this, it's gonna create a lot of bubbles too. And you're gonna have a hard time getting, I got something in there, getting all those bubbles out of your resin. I don't know if I got it out or not. So what you need to do is make sure your resin stays warm in a warm room, or heat it in a bath. I know that sounds funny. Don't get your resin wet. Stick your bottles tightly covered in warm water for a few minutes before you use it. Or mostly just, if you just keep your resin in a warm room, then you'll be fine. So that is a problem in the winter for some of us. And stirring too aggressively and incorporating a bunch of bubbles in your resin is a problem too, because the bubbles, just the typical mixing bubbles are pretty easy to get out for the most part. But if you beat them to death, if you just whip this like you're trying to make egg whites, you're gonna have so many bubbles that your resin won't look clear. It'll look cloudy, and you're never gonna get all of those bubbles out of your resin. They just are too tiny and microscopic, and you're gonna have a rough time. So keep your resin warm when you're using it. And if it's in a cold space, and why does it keep freezing? If it's in a cold space, you can tighten the tops. Thank you, Susan. You can tighten the tops on your resin, fill your sink or tub with warm water, and let your containers sit in that warm water for a few minutes to warm up your resin. Put a little electric blanket around it or something, make it cozy. So anyway, that is a good winter tip. And if you have questions about art resin that I'm not answering, you can go to artresin.com, and they have a FAQ on their website, and they pretty much, there's some little black speck. They pretty much answer everything you could possibly want to know in that FAQ. So make sure you check that out. Thank you, Joanne. Is that not gorgeous? So it's 4 colors. It is Cobalt, Pacific Blue, Caribbean, and Clear. Look at all those hearts. Oh, good idea, Brenda. You guys are awesome. Yes, Christine, I do tint my resin. We actually have a boot camp course, which is a 4-week, 4 art piece course that you can join anytime you want. You can also find the description and the link for that on the Art Shattered website. I don't know what these little nuggets are, but we do teach you how to tint glass and tint resin in our bootcamp course. So you should check that out if you're waiting on our membership to open soon. So, yeah, and if y'all missed last night's live, you should go back and check that out. We made a really cute heart trio. Robin, what I'm using is called a silicone makeup applicator is what it is. You can buy it in the makeup section of the dollar store, or you can get these online. They're basically just silicone stirrers. Thank you, Catherine. So I mixed up 3 ounces of resin. I'm not sure exactly how much we'll use. I mixed up a little more than I thought because I have another little piece on my desk I need to resin. It was a piece I did a couple years ago, and I decided to add some glass to it because it didn't have glass. So I'm going to add that too. So I'm going to start just drizzling on top of the glass, and we drizzle so that all the pieces stay adhered. What happens is you're drizzling the resin on the top because remember, I have layers. It's kind of piled up. It's not like a single layer of glass. It's kind of piled up thick, and I'll show you how thick it is when we're done. So what this does is it hits the top pieces and it settles down and goes in between all the little pieces and goes all the way down to the canvas so that it makes sure that your glass is stuck down really nicely. So that's why we drizzle instead of just pouring. Because if you just poured, you might miss spots. The top pieces might not stick down, that sort of thing. So we always drizzle over the top and let it run through all the nuggets. So, yeah, I'll let you know exactly how much we used. Oh my goodness, y'all. This is looking delicious. Yes. Totally is. Super yummy. Thank you, Gloria. Y'all are throwing some stars at me today. So let's see what happens when we get to this clear. We should see a little bit of that undercoat of pale, pale, pale blue shine through. And I can already tell it is. This is a super fun little heart, isn't it? Maybe. Now I want to do a pink one. I need to get some clear glass and tint 3 shades of pink and do a pink one. Wouldn't that be super cool? Okay, so I've got resin all the way covering all of my glass pieces. So I'm going to just drizzle a little bit of resin on the flat surface of my canvas. And then we'll spread it out. And then we'll see how much we used. Pat, your best bet is to check that before you walk away from your canvas. But once it's dry, if you find there's a piece sticking up, and I wouldn't worry about it unless it's super sharp and pointy. Then your best bet would probably be, like if I had one sticking way up right in the middle, I would probably add a little more glass around it so it didn't stand out so much, and then resin over that glass area again. Now, if you're re-resining inside your glass bits, you can spot resin, but you cannot spot resin, you cannot spot resin. Do you like the way I scooped that up? You can't spot resin the canvas, the blank canvas area, because it shows up. So if I miss a spot on this white part that is my canvas, and I normally just let it be. Or you have to re-resin the entire flat surface, because one little dot of resin to fill in a hole stands out. You can totally see it. So to clean this applicator after I'm done, all I have to do is take an alcohol wipe, and my friend Gina makes these. It's her business. It's called Beert Mac, and Rima can post that if she will. She makes these wipes. They're artist wipes, and they're alcohol based, and you just wipe the resin off of the tool. And I'll tell you what, when I sat down to do this and get prepared for this today, I had forgot to clean off my tool. I had forgot to clean this off. So all I had to do, because it's bendy and it's made of silicone, all I had to do was kind of bend it, and that little piece of resin pops up, and you can peel it right off, because resin does not stick well to silicone or plastic. All right, so you can, if you forget, you can just pop it right off with your fingernails or something. Okay, so I made 3 ounces, and I still have 2 ounces left. So this only took 1 ounce of resin. That is super awesome. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna take my finger and I'm gonna run along that edge to make sure the edge is nice. I don't like to do my sides. It makes them drippy and it's a waste of resin. So I just run it along and make sure it goes all the way to the edge. And now I can take these off. Yeah, probably any alcohol-based wipe would do, but I support my friend and I love her family business, made in America wipes. So I'm gonna take my gloves off. I'm gonna try to salvage them so I can use them again in a minute. Yeah, put my hand in there. So I'm gonna use my heat gun to pop any bubbles. Yes, an ounce does go a long way. To pop any bubbles that might be in my resin. Because you always are gonna have a few bubbles just from mixing. When you stir those 2 parts together, it creates some little air bubbles. And this is how you pop them. You can use this, which is a heat gun, just an inexpensive little heat gun from Amazon, hot air gun, no brand at all, it was really cheap. Or you can use a torch, which is like a propane torch, or a little kitchen, like a creme brulee type torch. You just don't want to burn your resin, okay? Keep fire and flame off your resin, and as you're torching, keep your hand moving so that you don't burn, okay? So that's very important. So this is our heart. Is this not adorable? Look at this. So stinking cute.